Hey, everybody. Time once again for the Suwannee Sports Report here on rivercountrysports.com. I'm Wayne Littrell, and my special guest, my favorite coach, is Coach Kyler Hall, Suwannee head football coach and all-around good guy. We're going to talk to Coach Hall coming up in just a moment. The Suwannee Sports Report is presented by Roundtree Moore Ford, Highway 90 in Lake City. Roundtree Moore Ford, proud to be part of the Morgan Automotive Group, dedicated to delivering exceptional service and a wide selection of quality vehicles. Go check it out. Roundtree Moore Ford, Stephen Jones, Jackson Jones, the whole crew there. They'll help you with your new car purchase, your used car purchase, all your service needs. Roundtree Moore Ford, Highway 90, Lake City, Florida. All right, back with Kyler after this timeout. The Suwannee Sports Report here on rivercountrysports.com.
In the heart of the red zone is where the game is won, and you need a dealership that knows about scoring big. At Roundtree Moore Ford, we've scored this area's largest selection of new and pre-owned inventory. And right now, we're scoring rates as low as 0%. It's time to get out of the stands and score big in the Roundtree Moore Ford red zone. At Roundtree Moore Ford, the customer always wins. So make your next ride a touchdown at RoundtreeMooreFord.com today.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Van Carpet One. For 78 years, we've been your local family-owned and operated floor covering store, and we can't wait to serve you. Let's go check out some of the stuff we've got and say hey to the guys.
Hey guys, this is Michael Van here at Van Carpet One. Wanted to show you our huge display of carpet. Got about 1,000 rolls for you that we can order. We also keep about 100 in stock that are on clearance, so please come down and give us a visit. We appreciate it.
Come in and see the largest tile collection in North Florida. Van Carpet One has every tile you could possibly imagine. If you can't find it here, they don't make it. Guys, take a look at this. This is just some of our options in waterproof vinyl plank, where we have the largest selection anywhere around here, including over 70 pallets in stock, ready to go right now. Come in and see our fantastic selection of elegant hardwood too, followed up by fantastic service that you expect from a company like Van Carpet One.
Come on in and see us.
We can't wait to serve you. And that's a boom shakalaka.
Back here on the Suwannee Sports Report. Now, if you were with me last week, we talked with Shane Morgan, talked all about the Fort White Indians, and I said next week we're going to do a show on Hamilton County, and that was the plan.
Gosh,
but unfortunately,
talk about those guys.
Yeah, Ryan Mitchell, I guess he got sick, and then he ended up in the hospital. So you'll have to tell me about that. And then Josh Altman also was a little bit under the weather, so they had to cancel. We'll have to reschedule that for a later date. But Coach Kyler Hall going to fill in. I'm going to call you Phil tonight.
When you think you know some guys and that you can count on them, and then when you call on them, both of them had the same excuse.
It does
happen. Really?
I know.
At the same time.
And I was going to trash him. That was my plan. And I heard Ryan was in the hospital, and then I felt bad about things.
He's going to be all right.
Because my initial thought was, but it turned out to be a little more serious than that.
I mean, he's doing much better. He good. You know, it's that time of year. All this crud and stuff is going around, but in all seriousness, we are both of them getting to feeling better.
Oh yeah.
And Josh, we all, run a group text, and he gave us an update of him feeling bad, but of course he was still at work, because he had to go in, and sometimes help is hard to find, but yeah, it's hard to keep Josh out of work. It's hard to keep Ryan out of work, but hopefully both those guys are feeling better soon.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Ryan, the principal at Hamilton County High School, and Josh runs the Napa store, Jasper Auto Supply, on Hatley Street in downtown Jasper. So there you go. Free plug for you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome, Josh. I'll send you a bill. So the Suwannee Sports Report, Coach Hall, what are you doing here in the off season?
Man, the busyness has picked up. January, we finally gotten through January. That it kind of drags along a little bit. You come back after the Christmas break, and you're getting back in the rhythm, and you're putting the previous season behind you, and you're seeing what you have moving forward. You're getting your schedule done, and now we're full swing into the off season program. We have a lot of kids that are in other sports. We have track season starting up, baseball, basketball finishing up. We have wrestling. So a lot of kids doing, weightlifting's going on. So most of our kids are doing at least one other sport. But, our theme, our motto is everybody works after school. So whether you're in another sport or you come run a track or you're in the weight room, but we all work. And right now we've had that and had good attendance. And we've had some new bodies that, we'll talk about, new guys that are coming in.
Okay.
But it's been a good start.
All right.
Been a good start.
That's encouraging. That's great to hear. 1-9 last year.
Yeah.
We've got to do better than that.
100%. That by all means, is not acceptable on any front. It doesn't matter the schedule, however you slice it and dice it. There were many games where we were up in the fourth, or we were tied, or we were within a score, and we just didn't make the plays. We didn't coach well enough. We didn't put our guys in the right position. There's a lot of ownership that we have to take from that, starting with me as the head coach, our coaching staff, and as players. Everybody has to own up to what that was. But it doesn't have to identify us. It doesn't have to, define us moving forward. Obviously, you learn from it, and if you can't use that as motivation moving forward, then you're probably playing in the wrong sport, and you need to go do something else. But it's not something that we're going to dwell on. We're going to teach from it. We're going to correct it. But I do like the demeanor and the attitude that I've seen so far in the weight room, how we've attacked the offseason program. Just in January, as we're getting into February, a lot of room and work to go. But it's going to be spring ball before you know it. Then it's back in the summer, and then it's right back here at the season.
It does roll around quick, that's
It
for
does.
sure. Right now, we're kind of excited about the spring sports that are cranking up.
Absolutely.
But looking forward to the football season as always. And so the spring game, by the way, so practices you get, I think I understand, 15 days in May.
So they kind of changed it this year. Back in the day, it used to be May 1st. That was everybody's, designated start day. Then they moved it, the last Monday in April, you can start.
Okay.
Now this year, wherever your graduation date is, or maybe it's your last day of school, whenever your last day of school, you can go back 30 days before that, and that's where you can start your spring practice. So it's kind of a floating date depending on when schools end up. For us, we're going to start the last Monday in April. You have 20 days that you can get by FHSA rule. We're going to get 15 total, including the spring game. We'll go 3 straight weeks, Monday to Friday, and then we'll finish up May 15th with our spring game.
Yeah, and that's going to be at home, the spring game at Langford Stadium, taking on the Newberry Panthers.
Yeah.
So that's something new. We haven't played them.
It
in a
is.
while.
We've played them the last 2 years in JV, and Coach Johnson and I, we've kept in touch over the years. And he reached out, and they've been very successful over the last. I mean, they have a history of success in Newberry, and they've steadily put out college kids into college. Have a kid playing for Miami. I'm pretty sure they had a kid playing for Ohio State. So there's always talent that comes through Newberry. Had a deep playoff run in I believe it was 24. So good team, and they've got a good running back coming back. They're going to be competitive, so it'll be a good spring test, which is again what you want. You want to have a competitive game where you can have success, but also when you play a good enough opponent where they're going to maybe expose some things where you've got to get better and continue to work. So looking forward to it. Excited we're playing at the house. And again, it'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, and I'm excited about the schedule coming out this year. Some different faces, some different schools that we're going to be playing, starting off that kickoff classic. Well, now this is not a different opponent.
Yeah.
This is an opponent we play every year, but Madison going to be the kickoff classic opponent, and that's a home game, right?
It will. We're a heavy home this year, I believe, including the classic. We have 7 home games this year.
Love that.
Yeah.
As a broadcast organization, I can see Tammy over there cheering. We love
Absolutely.
that. Going to open up the regular season at Crystal River. So I can't remember the last time we played the Pirates.
I want to say it was back in Coach Rogers' days in the playoffs. It was pretty sure it was playoff game. Remember Tony Branch, great Bulldog. He coached there back in those days. So I know at some point prior to when I got here, they played Crystal River. So how we came upon that game, previous coach at Hamilton County, Coach Chris Cook, he was the head coach. We agreed to play the game. Well, less than a month later, he was let go. But they still kept the game. We talked to the athletic director. They just hired a new head coach this week. But we're at Crystal River this year. They'll come to us next year.
Okay, that's great. And I see Lafayette still on the schedule.
Yep.
And that's been a pretty good series. We've only played them a couple of years, but won one, lost one, and get a chance for revenge this year at the Doghouse.
Yeah, Coach Edwards, that was one of the first games that that we nailed down. Coach Edwards reached out, and they had a great year, man. Coach Edwards always does a phenomenal job with this program, and they returned a lot, man. They were very junior heavy. Quarterback was a senior. But you know what you're going to get with Lafayette. They're going to be tough, physical. They're going to play hard. They're going to be well coached. So I'm glad that we brought that one back. It's you're going to have a great attendance from both sides.
Oh yeah.
good small town football.
Yeah, it's a good money game.
Absolutely.
So the gate will
That
be big
matters.
that night. And then we've got the Gainesville Purple Hurricanes coming in here, followed by Palatka, two teams that, especially with Palatka, had a big history with them back when
Yes.
you played.
Ooh, yeah. Tough history. So Gainesville High, Coach Ian Scott, which he was a year ahead of me, played at University of Florida. That's his alma mater. He played at Gainesville High. We've been talking the last couple of years trying to, get a game. I can't remember the last time that Suwannee and Gainesville High played. It's been a while if we have.
We played East Side. We had a pretty
Played
good
East
rivalry
Side
with them,
before.
played Buchholz, but I'm trying to remember the last time we played Gainesville.
Yeah, I can't remember. So they're going to come here this year. We'll return the favor the next year. And Gainesville is one of those teams where they're always going to have talent, but and now just with the landscape of high school football, when you're in a city, if you take Buchholz, well they're loaded every year. East Side's had a good run the last couple of years. Hawthorne, won state championships. Now Coach Ingram stepped down, so I'm not sure where he's going to go. But you just never know what you're going to get from some of the city teams, just depending on just how the transfer cycle goes.
Yeah.
And then with Palatka, again, that was a big district game when I was in high school. Had a lot of battles. Again, that's going to be a home game this year. That's actually a region game for us. They're in the same region. They bumped up this year. But with Palatka, you're always going to get tough, hard-nosed kids. It's going to be a very physical game.
Yeah, I remember those
gonna run the
those
ball.
battles back in the day.
Man.
I think one year we had to play them like three times.
My senior year, 3 times.
Yeah,
Regular season, the
Tiebreaker,
shootout,
yeah.
the daggone playoffs.
Yeah, and those were wars.
Oh,
man.
my goodness. There were some great players on those teams.
No doubt about it. Hamilton on the schedule, so we get the Hamilton Trojans in week number 5. That'll be followed by a district trip to Wakulla. Go to Wakulla. Let's hope they let us bring the cameras in there.
Yeah, they're always a little stubborn over Wakulla, but
Yeah.
that if you look at the last 5 or 6 years, that game is always a classic game. It's always close. I got a lot of respect for Coach Cleese and Coach Grady, Guest, the defensive coordinator. They're always well coached. I'm glad his son has graduated. Glad he's out of there.
I think he's got a younger one. Doesn't he have another one coming?
He's got one in the middle school coming. So he might be the guy next year. You never know. There's always a Cleese in there, but that's always a great game. And as far as our district, nothing changed from our district opponents.
Now last year we didn't win the district, but those were 3 evenly matched teams
Every game,
and we just couldn't get over that hump. But between Baker and Wakulla and Godby and us, it's a pretty even district.
It is. And you look at the games, and even when Godby and Wakulla played, and Wakulla and Baker, like all of the games were great games, close games, and that's how you want your district. I think we probably have the most competitive district in our region. If you look at some of the other regions, there's a dominant team. Take Rains, like they're the dominant team. Even though Bishop Kenny is a good team, Rains is just kind of head and shoulders above everybody else. Out in the Panhandle, there's like 2 teams that are more dominant than everybody. But with us, it's a toss-up. It's very evenly matched teams, and so it'll be another games and battles just like we've seen the last 2 years.
So you got Baker at home, and you got Wakulla and Godby on the road as far as the district goes.
Yep.
Zarapath Academy coming in here. That's a new opponent.
That was a new one. I'm gonna be honest. I thought Zarapath Academy was down south. I'd heard them before, and I was talking to one of my coaching buddies, and they had them on the schedule. I was like, hey, send me that number. And so I reached out, and within a couple minutes, we had the game. They actually played Lafayette the last 2 years. The head coach, really good guy. We got to talking, and he's a longtime ball coach. And he said, yeah, coach, let's do it. So they're going to come here. Actually, we've got them for 2 years. Hamilton County is going to come here for 2 years. So those we'll also get those home in 27.
Okay.
So had to do some finagling of the schedule.
I
try to get more home games.
Yes, sir. Let's pack Langford Stadium. Nothing like a home game. I love it. And then we end the season. I'm not real wild about this. Right before the playoffs.
Yeah.
Columbia's always a physical ball game, and we
is.
go to Lake City this year.
Yeah. So going back on the road and finishing that job with the district schedule, and then putting the Columbia game back at week 11, which traditionally that was the week 11 game. The good thing about it now, the way the state schedule is set up, they have that built-in bye week after that week 11. So God forbid any hurricanes or anything come through where you have to play that week before. So you can use that as a bye week, and injuries or whatever the case is at that point. But it's also Granted, Columbia, you know what you're going to get. They return a ton. They're always well
they're gonna be
coached.
good.
Yeah, they're going to be very good. But it also keeps you sharp going into the playoffs. So where a lot of teams may play, a week 11 team where they're just going to run through, which, may be great. But I love the rival of it. We're going to continue to play that game. And if anything, it keeps you sharp and you know that you got to go into that week ready to play.
I like it. We start with Madison, one of our biggest rivals, and we end with another big rival with Columbia. So that's kind of neat. And sandwiched in between, we've got our district games and rivalry with Lafayette, which is turning into a great rivalry. And it looks like a fun schedule. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. The last 2 years, a lot of close games, and we just, it's just looking back, it's hard to believe how close we were in so many games, and then we couldn't pull the games out.
Right. But one thing you always say, one or two plays normally dictates a ball game.
It is, and so it shows you how close you are. So you, as a player, you've got to understand, man, we're so close, we got to clean up these small things. But I'm hoping with the way the schedule is set up, because if you look at the last 2 years, we have Madison and Columbia in the first 3 weeks of the season. Like, that's a tough start.
Yeah.
And then you get right into your district play in week 4. So we bump the district game from 4 to 10. So we have some room before we get into district play. So hoping we can get some confidence early. These kids we've got to learn how to win. We've got to understand how to respond from a win and stack some wins on top of each other. And now you get some confidence. And when you have a confident team mixed with talent, now you can get on a run. So that's what we're working towards. Again, it's still a very competitive schedule. Crystal River, they've got a new head coach, so there's some unknowns with some of these teams. But I like the layout of it, and we're working towards, again, the wins, obviously, but there's a lot of things that we have to correct about ourselves, and hopefully those wins take care of themselves.
It seemed like last year, especially, we always came out hot, and then for whatever reason, I don't know what happened at halftime or that second half, somehow we kind of tail off a little bit.
Yeah, that's something as coaches that we've got to correct. We've got to find a way to continue to move the ball, press the ball, get to the end zone, and defensively, we've got to find a way to come out. I know second quarter we were terrible in the second quarter for whatever reason. So that's an issue that we've got to fix. We got to figure out why that issue was taking place all throughout the year. And then once we get in that fourth quarter, we've got to be the ones that make the big defensive stop, or we get the big run to get a first down to extend the drive, or we get the big score. So those are the areas as coaches we've got to do a better job of figuring out how to put our guys in position to be successful and to win, and then getting these players to be competitive in everything that they do, from the weight room to track meets to their other sports, but getting in the habit of winning and really where you hate losing. So when you get in those moments, you know what? Like, I'm not going to let this guy across me beat me. Like, this is our game. Like, we're going to take this now. So it's really more so of a demeanor and a mindset, more so than a talent issue. So we've got to fix here and we got to fix here. We do that, and we're going to be in good shape.
Well, you can coach them up, but when it comes to time for the game, lights are on. I mean, it's up to the players to, to respond. I mean, you can't jump out there on the field and play for them.
No, unfortunately, my playing days are done. But I do like, with some of the changes that we're going to implement on both sides of the ball. We have some coaching, different positions and moving some things around. I do like the potential of what is there. Now, potential doesn't get you anywhere, but I like the direction that we're moving right now. And again, I like the pieces that we have. I think the pieces we have coming back and what we want to do on offense and defense, I think it fits. But now we've got to go out and coach them up, and we got to go out and execute.
All right, let's talk about personnel. Let's talk about players. First of all, coaching staff, is everybody back, or are there transitions? What are we doing there?
So we've had some changes. Coach Gaddy is stepping away from the on the field coaching duties. Just kind of felt personally at this time this was what he wanted to do. He'll still be involved with the program. So I've given him he hasn't officially accepted it, but kind of the director of football operations position. So he's still involved with the program.
In charge of NIL?
That too. Hey, it's legal in Florida. So
yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Nothing bad there. But Coach Gaddy, man, he's a great person. He's a great example for our kids. So he'll still be around. Coach Dukes, we'll start with defense. Coach Dukes will be back on the defensive line.
Okay.
Coach Wilder is going to be our new defensive coordinator. He was first-year coach with us this past year. They work with our H's and tight ends, but he is a great mind, puts a lot of time and effort. He's also heading up our recruiting as far as getting in touch with college coaches, sending film out, kind of working. Well, Coach Gaddy's still going to work the social media side of those things, but trying to do as much as we can to promote our players, promote our program. Let's see. Coach Hurst, Nick Hurst, going to be back working with Coach with the linebackers.
Right.
Coach Fryer will be back with the secondary. Coach Phil, y'all, unfortunately, will not be back with us this year. He's kind of getting towards the end of his road in his teaching career. So he was with us 2 out of the last 3 years. And love Phil, y'all. He still teaches on campus, but he won't be back with us. Clifford Bean is going to be back.
Okay.
He worked with the offensive line last year. Kendrick Carter will be back. Lionel Torres will be back. Coach Brumball, which worked with our receivers. Coach Frank Allen is going to go over to the offensive side. He's going to work with the offensive line. I'm going to go back to the offensive side. I'm going to coordinate it.
Clifford Bean and Frank Allen working that line, you ought to be pretty darn good there.
Absolutely. And we're also looking at taking some of these. S.L. McCall is another guy. Played at Columbia as well, but he's our head girls basketball coach. First year coaching, he's going to join our staff and work on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm excited about the staff, excited about the changes. But yeah, we're also going to look to kind of take a core group of coaches and kind of put them in charge of JV. We have our varsity guys as well, still working all on the same pace, doing the same stuff, but making sure that our varsity guys are getting the full attention they need, and the JV guys get the same as well.
Okay. Are you going to be the head coach of JV, or are you going to have another?
We'll have most of the staff is going to be there, and I'll be at all the JV games anyways. But I'll have a guy that's directly over the JV that's going to run that. So kind of taking, delegating more, giving guys more responsibility. Command, these guys can coach, and they're good leaders. So putting more on their plate, giving up the responsibilities, and I think when you have full ownership with everybody, where they're a head coach of something, and that may be the equipment room, it could be the offensive line, but when every coach and every person has ownership, I think now you take more pride in what you do, and now the players see that, and it's just a trickle-down effect of everything that you do in the program.
As far as coordinators, are you going to have an defensive coordinator, or like last year, Gaddy was our offensive coordinator?
Yeah, so I'm coming over to offense. I'll be the offensive coordinator. Coach Wilder is going to go to defense, and he'll be the defensive coordinator. And we'll do some similar things defensively as far as, some of the 3-3 stack principles and what we do. Offensively, we'll change some things. We'll have some similarities, but you will see some differences in what we do.
Okay. Defensively, we might see more blitzing, stunning, things like that, maybe?
Yes, and we were young last year, and we had some injuries at linebacker.
And that does dictate a lot.
It does. You got to
personnel.
simplify. Yeah, it does. Some at certain stages in players' development, they can only handle so much. But with what we have returning back, you're going to see Kyler Watson is going to be moving to linebacker because now we have some pieces up front that we can now do that. So you got him, T-Fed coming back, Josh Johnson coming back, Dalton Limblay coming back, Hagedorn, the young Hagedorn is going to be a good ball player. So now we have a more experienced senior-heavy group of linebackers. So now we can see more stunts. We can see more blitzes and pressure. And there you can create some big plays with what you do instead of having to sit back kind of on your heels instead of being aggressive. So that's more the approach we want to take this year.
Offensively, any changes, or when we stay with our base pro set offense?
You'll see a variety. You'll see a variety of formations. We're going to pick up, the pace a little bit. Last 2 years, and it was more of necessity in the style we wanted to do. We were more huddle, slow the game down. Kind of see what was there. So we're going to change the pace of what we do. We're going to be a little bit more multiple with some of the formations, but again, there's going to be some carryover, but you're also going to see some changes as well.
All right. Let's talk about personnel now. Let's start the quarterback position. We lost a good one from last year. We're going to have to replace him. What are we looking at the quarterback spot?
Yeah, so losing Sykes. Sykes is actually on a college visit up at Benedict College in South Carolina. He's on an official visit, and they've offered him a full ride. So he may be up there. So looking at Coy, coming back, that started as a freshman a few games towards the end of the year, and then he transitioned to you know everything: wide receiver, defensive back, returner. So the last 2 years, that's kind of what we've seen the role with Coy. But really the plan, looking back when he was a freshman sophomore, we knew after Theitz graduated, there's going to be that vacancy. And so now Coy just kind of fits the identity of what we want to do. Um, Not only with what he can do with his arm, but man, his run threat and what you can do with the quarterback run series. And now you've got Vano that's going to be next to him in the backfield, which I believe is going to be one of the best backs in the area. So I like the identity that we could establish with those two back there. And we've got some other pieces that we're going to try back in the backfield. But I believe Coy's got he resembles a Jaquez type of player more than anybody we've had.
Yeah.
And so he gives the opportunity to present a lot of problems.
Yeah, I don't mean this as negative. No knock on any of our personnel, but having a Jaquez Moore or having a MJ Rosson or having one of just a game breaker.
It is, and those guys, like, they force defense coordinators to stay up a little bit later at night and to think a little bit harder, and they force defensive ends to be a little bit more disciplined, and they force they just create problems when they're the dual threat type of player. And plus, man, Coy just when Coy is healthy and he's had to battle through some injuries the last couple of years, man, he's as tough a runner and as competitive as kid. And so again, he's bounced back from his injuries this offseason, and he's working the speed, and I just believe that he's got the potential to have a very big year.
Yeah, well, he's got good genes.
Which he's already, he's already made plays all over the field.
Yeah.
He's actually up on a junior day visit up at West Virginia. Got an official offer from West Virginia, so been a good offseason so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Mountaineers.
Yeah.
Coach Rich Rod.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, that'd be something. He'd
Yes,
be
it would.
used to the cold weather. But
Yeah,
other than that,
absolutely.
might be a good fit. But I'm sure he'll have some other offers.
Oh, he
He'll
will.
have some options. And,
Yeah.
a legacy player, it could end up in Tallahassee.
Never know. Never a bad thing to go to the Garnet Gold.
Well, that's
Even
debatable.
down south, hey, there ain't nothing wrong going to the 305 either.
Okay. I appreciate that. Get some balance here.
Well, love it.
As far as any other skill position players that we hadn't talked about, I kind of touched on the backfield a little bit, wide receivers, tight ends, and
So
H-backs.
Jamarcus Cherry, which, man, I thought as the season progressed, he just got better and better and better.
He did. He grew.
He did. He really, especially defensively, he showed some physicality that he hadn't shown.
And he really had to step up when, we had Ty Hurt, we had
He
Coy
did.
Hurt for a while, and he had to become that guy.
Absolutely. So he's kind of a receiver one. Like, he's earned that. He knows how to run routes. He doesn't mind going across the middle. He catches with his hands. He's a willing blocker. Like, Jamarcus does a lot of things really well. And so looking forward to him kind of leading up that receiving group. But he had a really good year. I think he'll be even better next year.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. You're still going to use that H-back position, kind of that extra blocker? Is that part of the plan?
We'll have that in there, but you'll also probably see a little bit more of two true running backs in there.
Okay.
So a guy that I'm excited about is kid Diamond Jones, Keem. Keem is fast. Like, he was predominantly a defensive player this past year, but you're going to see him.
And he'll be a junior this coming year.
He'll be a junior.
Okay.
He kind of reminds me now, if he has this production now, Malachi Tony type of player.
Whoa.
I know that's big.
That's high praise.
It
now.
is. So I'm kind of setting the bar high, but he's that type of build where you can put him out in the slot, you can put him in the backfield, you can put him at a returner. He has a different level of speed and some quickness. So Keem's got a chance to have a big year.
And Malachi, he should have been a senior in high school this past year.
That's unbelievable. That kid,
wow,
he's going to be up for the Heisman. He's a phenomenal talent.
Pretty special. I'm glad we were able to retain him another year, because in college football, you just don't know year to year.
I know, especially with this NIL.
That's the way it goes. Now, as far as your linemen, last year we had a senior offensive defensive line, so this year you kind of starting over a little bit.
We will. Offensive line, we may not have one returner that has any starting varsity experience. So there's that. But we have offensive line guys coming up. We have some good sized bodies. I believe they're hungry. They're willing to learn. they're willing to get in there and work. So I like that about it. And we're going to change, schematically some stuff we do up front, and even in the run game that fits, because their skill set's going to be a little bit different than one we had with the senior heavy group.
Right.
So you got to kind of work it, maneuver it to what this group can do. So a lot of question marks there, but I do like the pieces that are coming up. I like what I've seen in the weight room. I like with the work ethic and them showing up. So that's going to be a group that, obviously you got to keep an eye on. And but I believe we'll have some guys emerge to be really good offensive linemen.
Yeah, and half the battle is just getting participation. If you get guys that want to volunteer and come work out,
Ooh, yes.
I mean, you're way ahead of the game.
Yeah. We probably have 10 to 12 new guys this year that didn't play. So Coach Brumbaugh, Coach Wilder have done a really good job of beating down the hallways, getting guys out, getting them to get in the weight room. So there's a lot of pieces, and some of those are offensive line. There's a couple skill guys, but I'm excited about some of these new kids that are coming out.
Man, it is exciting. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm looking forward to football. And we got baseball first.
Yeah.
And
A
this
great year for the Dogs baseball.
I mean, we're going to be a great year. And next week, by the way, Coach Billy Moran, first of our Diamond Dog podcasts, as we used to call
Looking
it.
forward to it.
So we're looking forward to talking to him and get the season started. We're going to do a handful of broadcasts during the regular season and follow him in the postseason. And excited to announce this year we're going to do a couple of softball games.
There we go. I love it.
That.
I love it.
So
it's crazy how much the River Country Sports is just continuing to grow and get into new avenues. Y'all have done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. It's exciting.
If you feel that way and would like to sponsor us, we'd love to hear from you.
Let's go. Let's go.
So we'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back with Coach Hall after this on rivercountrysports.com.
In the heart of the red zone is where the game is won, and you need a dealership that knows about scoring big. At Roundtree Moore Ford, we've scored this area's largest selection of new and pre-owned inventory. And right now, we're scoring rates as low as 0%. It's time to get out of the stands and score big in the Roundtree Moore Ford red zone. At Roundtree Moore Ford, the customer always wins. So make your next ride a touchdown at RoundtreeMoreFord.com today.
Excellence in academic and clubs. Tradition, family, future. Foundations for lifelong learning. Leadership begins here. Careers start here. Curiosity meets opportunity. Building the leaders of tomorrow. Learning begins with love. One district, every student, every day. The Suwannee County School District, my choice for high quality education.
You were there at the beginning. You stood behind me, guiding me through good times and bad, teaching me lessons I wouldn't appreciate until later, preparing me for the day when you couldn't be here. What you've given me, I'll carry wherever I go. And because of your planning, I know I'll go far.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
And back here on the Suwannee Sports Report, Wayne Littrell along with Coach Kyler Hall. And, you've kind of becoming well-rounded. I mean, doing the Suwannee Sports Report, you do football, of course, and do the coaches shows, but you've done baseball with me. You've done the parade with me this year.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was.
Parade was great.
Becoming well-rounded in your broadcasting
I'm
ability.
learning from the best.
This could be your second career,
Well, if we don't win some more games, it could be the first career. It might be my first job. So keep my seat warm.
I talked to one of your players, and he guaranteed me you weren't going 1-9.
No, we're not doing that.
Guaranteed it.
Well, I like that. Who was it?
I'm not going to get anybody in trouble.
Hey, I like it.
He works at a area fast food restaurant. Does that narrow it down?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
We got a lot of all over the place.
He was bragging a little bit, and I said, just don't go 1-9. He promised.
Hey, I like it.
Yeah.
We're not. We're going to get it turned around. Like, we understand what the standards and expectations are here. Like, it's no surprise to anyone. So I'm looking forward to the challenge our kids are. When your back's against the wall, you got one direction to go, and you come out and swing and fight and do your job. So I can't wait.
College football, Florida State going to turn it around? Coach Norvell going to turn things around?
Man,
What's your thought?
it's to me, it's way more than a Coach Norvell problem.
I mean, you've
It just
seen though with Indiana and some other examples that you can turn it around quick.
yes, you can, and I was having that exact conversation with a college coach that stopped by this week. That exact conversation of how quickly that you can turn it around and be in the playoff and playing for a national championship, or you can be sitting at home not going to a bowl game, just sitting there like, what in the world? Because you look at from 23 when they go undefeated, and then 2 years later, like they fell off the earth. It seems like so. That's the new age of the portal, and sometimes you're going to hit it spot on, and other times it just doesn't click.
Yeah.
So I think one, they have to continue to recruit and develop great high school players. But I've also think that they've got to do a better job in the portal because some of these guys just haven't been who they thought they were going to be, especially at the quarterback position. You look at the last 2 years, and neither year, and this isn't a knock on either one of those guys, but it just wasn't what FSU needed. And so now you got a kid, Barry, the freshman, which I was a big fan of, but now you brought in a transfer from Auburn. You just signed the number 1 JUCO quarterback. So, all right, who's going to be the guy?
Yeah, I guess we'll find out in spring
guy?
ball. Right?
So, like, that's where it all starts for FSU right now is with the quarterback because there was no coordinator changes. And I don't ever call or look for coaches like to get fired. Like I don't never, he needs to. No, like this is a tough business, and I understand when changes have to be made. But we're going to have very similar schemes to what we did. So, like, what's going to be the difference?
Yeah.
But what I haven't seen, like, who's going to be the guys? Like, who are going to be the alphas? Who are going to be the leaders? Like, who is going to lead that team as players? Right. And if they don't do that, we're going to get the same results.
Yeah.
So, like, yes, there's ownership on the coaches, but man, the players, like, they haven't played to the standard of FSU.
I just got to tell you, the world's a better place when Florida State has a good football team,
and Miami, and
Florida,
absolutely,
Big Three, yeah.
And right now, man, it's a weird times in college football. Like I hope that Miami has another good year. Like I want to see them sustain that. So now we got to see the Noles get back, and then we'll see what Florida does with a coaching change. So it's just. It's weird, man. Like the talent's so dispersed, and anybody really from 1 year to the next can win it.
Yeah, and I thought they were going to make some changes to the playoffs. Turns out they haven't made. They made some tweaks, but it's still going to be a 12 team. The Power Four all guaranteed conference champion. So if that was this year, Duke would have been in.
Duke would have been in.
Now they've changed the tiebreaker rule, so it's the highest ranked team.
Yeah.
But, and also I don't like Notre Dame getting a guarantee in the top 12. Join a conference.
Join a conference. They're in a conference and all the others. Join a conference. Like, come on now.
That's my thoughts exactly.
And they're a good program. Freeman does a great job. Like get in the conference.
Yeah. That can be a tough trip for the Canes next year. Got to go to South Bend.
South Bend.
Yeah, they're waiting for that. We got a circle.
Is that early?
No, it's late.
Oh, that'll be a great one.
It'll be a good game.
Absolutely.
All right, a lot of football to look forward to, but first baseball, and I hope you stop by the broadcast booth and help us with a couple of games this year.
Man. Baseball's loaded, man. It's exciting coming off of the year they had this past year and how close they were of going to that Final Four.
Yeah.
So now they're a year hungrier, a year older, more developed, and ready. Coach Billy's going to have them ready to go. So excited to watch the baseball guys this year, and softball. Softball's going to be a good year too.
No doubt, it's going to be a bunch of fun.
Yeah.
All right, join us next week on the Suwannee Sports Report when Coach Billy Moran will be in here, and we'll start talking about those Suwannee baseball players and what to look forward to during the season, because that season's just about to kick off as February rolls around. It's the Suwannee Sports Report presented by Roundtree Moore Ford, Highway 90 in Lake City. Roundtree Moore Ford, proud to be part of the Morgan Automotive Group, dedicated to delivering exceptional service and a wide selection of quality vehicles. Roundtree Moore Ford, Highway 90 in Lake City. Also brought to you, the Suwannee Sports Report, brought to you in part by Van Carpet One, by Farm Bureau Insurance, and by the Suwannee County School District. Our streaming and executive producer has been Miss Tammy Neal. For Coach Kyler Hall, I'm Wayne Littrell. By the way, if you'd like to comment on the show, our email address, that's the easiest way to reach us, is rivercountrysports@gmail.com. See you next week on the Suwannee Sports Report.